Oh my love, you're such a fragile thing, I know. And with the winter comes the ice.
I'm still not like thrilled with it, but I'm not to the point where I'm like positive I want to DNF it yet.
Y'all can't be asking for morally gray characters and then complain when they're morally gray.
Don't worry about the cold.
Hey y'all, it's Sam. Welcome back to another reading vlog. So, what am I reading? Fantastic question. Complicated question. And I'm gonna do my best to answer it. So, I have three and a little over 3 books left on my June TBR for the books that I have to read this month. I need to finish The Prison Healer. I'm like 45 minutes from the end of the audiobook, so I will finish that today. I also need to finish Poison Study, Mistborn, and Furyborn. I think those are my last 3. This is where it gets complicated. So I do have Furyborn. Furyborn is right here. This is probably the next physical book that I will start. I will probably start this today. Mistborn I ordered, because that was one of my TBR treats from my TBR game. So I ordered it, but I ordered it from Book Depository because I really liked the special editions. And someone told me that I was really going to like it, so I should get the special editions because I was going to want a nice copy. So I did, but it's coming from Europe, so it might be a minute before it gets here. So I don't actually know if it's going to get here in time for the end of the month, but we'll see. It's only the 15th, so it could. We'll see. We'll see. I also have Poison Study. I got the ebook from the library. That was another TBR treat, so like theoretically I'm allowed to buy it. However, when I was looking it up, the hardbacks are really expensive, and I'm not actually sure if they all come in hardback, like the whole series. The paperbacks come in like a set, so I'm a little bit hesitant to continue to buy like huge series before I even know if I like the first book. So I got it as an ebook from the library before I commit to buying the whole set. Like if I was just able to buy the first book and know that I could get the other books later, I would do that. But since I'm not really sure if they're all available in hardback and the paperbacks come as a set and I wasn't really sure what to do there, I figured I will try it and see if I even like it, and then if I do like it, I'll worry about what books I want after that. So that's kind of where we're at. I am hoping I'm gonna finish Prison Healer. Oh, I also need to finish, just kidding, there's another book, The Queen Will Betray You. That one's also complicated because I didn't finish The Princess Will Save You last month. I DNF'd it. And I'm supposed to read the sequel for this month. I think that prompt was actually a sequel. Reading's a little complicated right now, but I am going to finish Prison Healer today for sure. I am going to keep reading Poison Study. I'm on like chapter 3, so I can't really say if I actually like it or not. And I'm going to start Furyborn today, I think. So that's the goal. That's the intention. I have other things to film today, so I'm probably going to do that first. And then I'll let you know where I'm at from there.
Just yet, the trees haven't started to shed. Just feel the summer sun as it warms our bed. I'm lying, and I'm lying when I say I'm not afraid, but I'm trying to shelter you from pain. And oh my love, the seasons come and they go, but I hope you know that I
So it is 6:35 on Wednesday. It has been a day. We have a sick dog on our hands. Cooper, my parents' puppy, is sick. I think he ate something bad. He's fine, but we've been cleaning up after him all day long. And he and my dog do not get along at all. It's really... Okay, my dog's just a jerk, if we're being honest. Cooper is the sweetest puppy ever, and he just wants to play, and Soda Pop is having absolutely none of it. He is a grumpy old man. So, it is either listening to Soda bark incessantly at Cooper, cleaning up after Cooper, or something all day long. I was also so tired today. I have been just burning myself out. This is one of the biggest reasons that I'm switching back to a 2-day posting schedule, because I really wanted to do 3. I really wanted to make something huge of this channel, and I still want to. I'm still trying to do big things, but I had put so much effort and so much work on myself that I just couldn't keep up, especially right now with all of the traveling we're doing and our financial situation and our future plans and just a lot of things that we are trying to accomplish life-wise. I literally just had too much on my plate, so I have to take some things off. But I ended up falling asleep today. I don't generally take naps, especially during the summer, because I'm wearing my contacts, because I don't have prescription sunglasses. So if I go outside and I want to wear my sunglasses, I need my contacts in. But my eyes are super sensitive and fairly dry, so when I take naps with my contacts in, it dries them out really bad, and then I get headaches. So I probably need to take these out soon. I haven't been up very long, but I did do some reading. I did finish The Prison Healer as my audiobook, and then technically I counted that one as finished in my last reading vlog, so it's fine. I had less than an hour left when I started it today, so not bad. But I did finish that, and then I spent like a good half an hour trying to decide on another audiobook, and so far I have come up blank. But let me walk you through my thought process, because it's a scary place. So I have like my June TBR, like the books I need to read for June, and I already talked about those. So now I have Mistborn, Poison Steady, Furyborn, and technically The Queen Will Betray You left. I am reading Poison Study as an ebook. So I am like 70 pages into that. That is what I was reading when I fell asleep. I intended to read a lot more, and I probably will go back to reading that. I also have a physical copy of Furyborn already. So that's fine. I can start that whenever. Mistborn is coming in the mail, so I haven't really touched that one yet. And The Princess Will Save You, I DNF'd. So I don't know if I'm going to finish that one, try that one again. I thought about trying it again if I could find it as an audiobook, but I, as a rule, do not pay for audiobooks because I would so much rather spend that money on a physical book. And if I bought every book in physical and audio, I'm already poor, but I would be on the streets. So, as a rule, I don't buy audiobooks unless they're like under $2. That's how I got The Prison Healer. I was able to get that from like the Apple Books audiobook thing for like $2.99, and that was okay. I was willing to do that because I already own the physical copy. But I can't find pretty much anything else I need to read as an audiobook for free or very cheap. I can't do it. So I thought about starting something else, but I really don't want to start something outside of my June TBR until I start my June TBR. That's kind of like my rule for myself, is like I finish the TBR, including any DNFs. Like I'm allowed to DNF a book, but I finish the TBR from my monthly TBR game, and then I can start reading other things. So my goal this month was to finish that TBR and then finish some series that I have started, because I generally prefer to binge series. I'm not a big like, oh yeah, I read book 1 like 6 months ago, now let's read book 2. I tend to like to read them like immediately. So I would really like to finish the Bargainer series. I'd also like to read The Gilded Cage, and I think the third one of The Prison Healer just came out, so I would really like to read that too. And I was hoping to go back and read a couple of books from my May TBR that I didn't get to. But none of those are on audiobook either. So I'm just struggling. I don't want to pay $20 for the audiobook of Furyborn. I don't want to pay $23 for the audiobook of The Gilded Cage, the second Prison Healer book. I can't get any of them from the library. I had checked, like, my library has the Libby app here. I just got the library card. And they have the books, but they are all, like, checked out, every copy, with, like, huge waiting lists. And it's like, oh yeah, you might get this book in, like, 3 months. I'm like, kind of defeats the purpose of the library card. So there's that. But my library also has the Hoopla app, which is how I'm reading Poison Study, but that one doesn't have any of the audiobooks I need on it at all. And those are, like, my old library only had the Hoopla app, like, they didn't have Libby. But I guess Hoopla is a little different, in which there's not, like, one license or, like, X number of licenses for each audiobook or ebook. Like, anybody can borrow it at any time. There's no, like, waiting for it, but they don't have a huge selection. But they do have Poison Study as an ebook, not as an audiobook. So I'm reading that one as an ebook. But that's kind of where I'm at audiobook-wise, and honestly reading-wise. We have not done a ton of reading yet, but I'm gonna get there. Alright, good morning, everyone. So it is Thursday. It's Thursday. It's like 10:15 in the morning. I am stressing, so I have not read anything else. And I'm stressing. So I had a video go up this morning. Apparently got cut off halfway. And now every time I export it, it cuts off, and I don't know how to fix it. And this has happened before, but, like, the fix that I normally use to fix that isn't working. So I'm panicking a little bit, trying to export it one last time and see what happens. My dad is also coming home from his business trip today. So that means that at, like, 2:30 when he gets home, he's home. And then my mom works from home on Mondays and Fridays. So today's, like, my last filming day of this week, and I still need to film and edit a video for Sunday. And then I need to film something for Wednesday. Actually, it'll probably be this reading vlog Wednesday. Just kidding. I'll be working on this throughout. I mean, I can film on Mondays and Fridays, just not in here. So I have to clean all of this up today. And then film one more video. And then you'll probably see some videos elsewhere for the rest of this vlog. But it has just been a mess. So that is my stress-induced tale. I wish I had a better update here, but I have not had a chance to sit down and read. I feel like I am still playing catch-up, even though I tried so hard to have as many things done as I could before we left for Virginia last week. I still feel like I'm playing catch-up, and, like, I can't get ahead now, so that's fun because I leave again in another week and a half for an entire week, so that's gonna be great. Alright, I'm gonna go see if my video exported properly or not. 2 and I need to read. Like, really need to read. Still searching for an audiobook, still not finding one. So I haven't been reading all day because I've had so many other things to do, but I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read. I'm determined to finish this book today. I need to finish Poison Study and then I'm going to start Furyborn. And that's what we're going to do. And then honestly, I'm considering listening to The Gilded Cage as an audiobook, but I can't get it from my library. Like, they don't have it at all. So still deciding if I want to pay $22 for the audiobook, but we'll see. But I'm going to read now. Okay, so it is 5 o'clock and I read maybe 4 pages, which is awful. But that does tell me that I'm probably getting into a little bit of a reading slump, and I think it's because I really want to listen to an audiobook right now. Like, I'm not really enjoying Poison Study, I'm not gonna lie. I might DNF it, but I need an audiobook. So I have written down the rest of my June TBR, which is not very big, and then I wrote down all of the books from my May TBR that I didn't get to, and then I wrote down the rest of all of the series that I'm in the middle of, and those are kind of like the books that I'm hoping to read next. So I'm going to see if any of them are available as an audiobook from my library. There are a few that like I won't listen to as an audiobook. Like, I will not listen to the rest of the Bargainer series. I want to physically read that. But if I can find anything else as an audiobook, that's what I'm gonna do. It's also storming, which is why I'm in here, and it is super dark right now. Power just went out for like a minute, so I'm sitting here so that my phone can charge just in case the power like goes out completely and doesn't come back. So I'm gonna search for an audiobook. Hopefully I find something, because honestly this reading vlog is not going well so far, and it's been 2 days. So it's 7:30 now. I ended up buying Furyborn as an audiobook, and I think I regret it. I don't think I like it. I think I want to DNF it. And now I'm starting to wonder if I'm starting to DNF things because I'm hitting a reading slump, because now that's 2 books in a row that I am contemplating DNFing. One as an audiobook and one as an ebook. And I really don't feel like reading anything else on my TBR. I think my problem right now is I feel like I have to read certain things that are supposed to be on my June TBR. Like, I feel like I have to read the Poison Study, and I feel like I have to read Furyborn. I'm not really into either of them. I would like to read the rest of Rhapsodic, but I told myself I couldn't read those until I finished my June TBR. But now I'm kind of thinking, unless I want to keep this reading slump going on, that I should just read what I actually want to read. So I don't know. I am tired and I have a headache. So I'm probably going to take off my makeup and put on pajamas. And then, I don't know, I think honestly, I might just be hitting a low dopamine day. Like, I've noticed with my ADHD that I go through like cycles, and I think a lot of things are connected to that, but I'm kind of losing interest right now in like everything, not just reading. So I think I am just hitting a low dopamine period, which sucks, and is probably going to make this reading vlog not super interesting, but I'm doing my best. So hopefully I have something worth sharing tomorrow. I might just go off the deep end and read something completely random that's not on my TBR. We'll see. We will see. You know, this trail is going awfully downhill, and it makes me very nervous, considering we're supposed to be going up a mountain. Hey y'all, so it is 1 o'clock on Friday. Michael and I went hiking this morning. It was fun. It was exhausting. I don't know if I've talked about it yet, but in like a week and a half, I'm going to Maine with my brother and sister, and my brother wants to do this like really hard 7.5 mile hike that he's not sure I can do. So this hike this morning was kind of like practice for that. It was a little bit shorter, but it was supposed to be fairly strenuous. So we gave it a shot, and I thought it was kind of fine. Like, I was fine. Really enjoyed it, actually. It was really fun. Still exhausting, but it was fun. I did read a little bit in the car on the way there, so I'm a little bit further into Poison Study. Not, like, super far. I'm on page 95, so I read, like, maybe 20 pages. But I'm a little bit further, and I'm still not, like, thrilled with it. But I'm not to the point where I'm like positive I want to DNF it yet. So I think I'm going to keep going a little bit. I think I'm going to read a little bit more today. And if I'm still not liking it within like the next 50, 60 pages, I'm probably going to DNF it. But we'll see. And then I could listen to more Furyborn. I was listening to it last night. I got like 35 minutes into it, but it's not that I don't like the story. I don't like the audiobook. I struggle with audiobooks for multiple reasons, but one of those reasons is because I am very picky about voices, especially like male voices. So it's being read by a woman, but I find that when she's reading like the guy's voice, because I don't know if it's because she's British, but I've had British audiobooks before that I liked, but the way that she makes this one guy sound, and I don't know if he's the love interest or not, and if he's not the love interest, it probably wouldn't bother me so much, but like he might be, so I'm really not sure. But he sounds like Eustace from Narnia, and that drives me nuts. So not loving the audiobook there, but not hating the story. I also find that since it's a dual point of view, so every chapter flips back and forth between the two girls and like different time periods, but they're very similar girls, I am getting a little bit confused listening to the audio. Sometimes I miss which chapter we're on and which person's speaking. So I don't know, I might switch to physical on that one and see if I can read that as a physical book, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna give Poison Study a last attempt, and then we'll go from there. I'm probably gonna go outside and read because it's really nice out, but it's also really hot. It's like 98 degrees today, so honestly that might not last very long. Maybe I'll just read in here. So it's Saturday afternoon, and I finished Poison Study this morning. I read most of it last night, but I did fall asleep. And I actually ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. I still wouldn't call it a favorite. I think I gave it like a 3.5 stars, and then on Goodreads I rounded that up to 4 because I really only liked the second half of it. I thought the first half was very slow and very boring, but I do think part of that was because I was very wrong about a lot of the assumptions I had made. I thought Valak was like significantly older than he is for like the majority of the book, and that made a big impact. I just went in thinking so many different things about different characters, and then I was very, very wrong, and things went in a very different direction than I thought they were going to, and I ended up mostly liking it. I do want to read the second book, but I don't know if it's like a series that I would read again. So that's where I got like the 3.5. Like I liked it enough. Normally if I rate something 3 stars, it means I liked it, but I probably wouldn't reread it. 4 stars means I would reread it, and I did like it. So 3.5. Like I don't think I would reread it, but I do want to continue this series. So we'll see, and I could change my mind in the next book. I also think that today I'm going to start Furyborn as a physical book. I listened to a little bit more of the audiobook, and I'm not loving the audio, so I think we're going to try it as a physical book and see if I change my mind. I'm not really sure if I should start over or if I should start from where I left off in the audiobook, but I wasn't really that far in the audiobook, so I might just start over, honestly. We'll see, but I think that's what I'm going to do today. Today's kind of like a really lazy, do-nothing kind of day. We did go hiking yesterday, which was super fun, but exhausting, so we're kind of laying low today. Ooh, it just got very cloudy and dark outside. There goes my good lighting. I did try, I promise. But that's where we're at. Poison Study's done. I think that's the first book I finished in this reading vlog, which is really sad since we're already 3 days in. 4 days in. We need to pick up the pace. All right, let's go. Hello, it's very dark and I just got out of the shower, so I'm a mess. But I did read all of 2 chapters of Furyborn, and I'm gonna DNF it. I misunderstood a lot of things when I was listening to the audiobook, and as soon as I picked up the physical book, it made so much more sense. I figured multiple things out within like the first 2 chapters, and I'm not gonna like it. And this is not a spoiler because it's literally in chapter 1, but like there's 2 love stories in here essentially, because we've got 2 different points of view at 2 different times, but like one of them is not going to be a happy ending at all, and I don't do that, as y'all know. So I'm not gonna finish this book. It's fine. I don't need it. It's okay. I did, however, decide, forget the rest of the TBR. I don't care. Actually, that was probably, other than Mistborn, which is still coming in the mail, the only other one I need to read is The Queen Will Betray You, and I think I'm gonna buddy read it with someone, so that might actually help me get through that. But that's actually the only other thing that I have on my TBR. So I decided to start the second book in the Bargainer series, which is A Strange Hymn. I don't think I've ever actually looked at the title until just now, but I'm already almost halfway through. So probably gonna finish this like tomorrow. And then I also have the novella and I have book 3, so I'm gonna try to finish all of those. And then we'll go from there. But I've got time. It's gonna be great. I'm super excited. I'm already falling back in love with this series. I'm glad I decided to do this because I could feel myself starting to get into a little bit of a reading slump, and I think it's because I was trying to force myself to read things that I wasn't enjoying. And like Poison Study was good, but it wasn't great, and I did kind of force myself to get through that one, at least until I got to the point where I was enjoying it. I was kind of forcing it. And then I was trying to force myself with this one, both as the audiobook and as a physical book. I tried to force myself with another book. It was not happening, and I did not want to hit a reading slump. So really glad I decided to pick up something that I'm excited about, and that we can finally start picking up the pace here with reading in this reading vlog, since we haven't done a lot of that yet. So I'm gonna go to bed now, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday morning, and I really, when we moved here, I'm going off on a tangent, but when we moved here, I thought that the lighting in this house was going to be so fantastic because it's such a bright house. So I thought like I would never struggle with lighting here. That is false, and there is next to no light in this house in the morning, so I am awkwardly standing by the patio door, getting as much light in here as I can. It's still not great, but we're working with what we got. So I finished the second book of Bargainer series last night. I literally read the whole thing in one sitting, so there's that. I guess technically 2 sittings, but there was like maybe 15 minutes between those 2 sittings, so technically 2 sittings, but really 1. I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to find out what happens next. I was reading like reviews, and there's so many reviews that are like, oh, Des is so problematic, like he's such a bad person, you can't like him, like this is a terrible book. Like, y'all can't be asking for morally gray characters and then complain when they're morally gray. Like, is Des a good person? No, absolutely not. He's a fairy. He's not meant to be a good person. He is problematic. That's the point. He's a morally gray character. So, I mean, yeah, he's a bad person, but I still like him. So, that's where we're at. Next up, I am reading the prequel to this series, but on Goodreads it says it's like book 2.5. So, I'm going to read it in between books 2 and 3. I'm kind of excited because it is about like Des's background and like his story and everything, and I am interested in that. I'm sorry if y'all can hear the Roomba that's going. I don't know how loud that is, but I am excited to read this, but also like it's taking me out of this story, and like we're going back, and that's cool, but I want to know what happens in book 3. So luckily this is really short. It's only 207 pages, so I should be able to finish this pretty quickly, and then I can move on to book 3. I'm not sure how much reading I'm going to get done today because it's Father's Day, and my sister and her husband are coming down, and we're like hanging out with my parents for the day. So I don't know how much reading I'll get done, but my goal is to finish this book today, and I think I can do it. It's only 200 pages. We are going to go, my parents are at church right now. My husband and I go to a different church, so we are going to go to church and then probably come back. They'll probably be home before us. I don't know if I'll get to read this morning, but we'll see. We'll give it a shot. We're going to try it, and I will let y'all know how it goes.
so it is Monday morning. I am in the car because I'm in the Target parking lot. I am running a bunch of errands today, so we're filming in between. But I did read, so I'll show you how far I got. So yesterday I did read and finish the Emperor of Evening Stars, which is the novella for the Bargainer series. I actually really liked it. I felt like it was such a good look into Dez's past and like his personality and why he is the way that he is, and it just made everything make so much more sense. I also read and finished the third book and last book in the Bargainer series. Absolutely loved it. So happy that I read this series. It was so good. I just enjoyed the ending so much, and I feel like that novella is such an essential part of the series because book 3 really didn't make a lot of sense without it. And I don't know, like I feel like sometimes novellas are kind of optional. Like that one is very much not. Like you need to read the novella to understand the series essentially. But I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed it, and I am super excited to come up with a review for it eventually, like a full one. We'll get there. But I am running a bunch of errands today because I leave on Saturday to go to Maine with my brother and sister. So I need some shorts. I also am considering getting new shoes. I've been wearing the same like sneakers for like 8 years now. They are extremely worn and probably have like no support left. So I haven't like officially decided yet, but I think if I'm going to be doing all this hiking and stuff, I probably need new shoes, but then I also like don't really have time to break them in at this point. So we'll see. I don't know yet, but I do need to run a bunch of errands today. So that's what I'm going to do. And I will update y'all. I don't know exactly what I'm going to read next. I'm thinking I might read The Gilded Cage. I'm also thinking I might read Starcrossed that I was supposed to read last month. I'm at like 12 books for this month already, and I still have like a week and a half left. So that's a good thing. It means that this might be my highest reading month ever. If I can get above 17, that was my highest with January. That was my highest so far this year. So we'll see how that goes, and I will let y'all know. So it is almost 7 o'clock now, and my camera's about to die, so I will be quick. I've been editing this vlog most of the day, which is why I look like this. It's also why I'm going to be quick, because I'm realizing that I ramble a lot. So, haven't read anything yet today, but while I was running errands, I did run into Second and Charles because I have no self-control. And I found a graphic novel series that's a fantasy, and I've actually heard 1 or 2 other people talk about it or like mention it before. So I thought I would give it a shot because they were used, so cheap. So I could justify buying them. But I got Monstrous. I know it's fantasy. I know it's very dark, and that's essentially it. But I got the first 2 volumes. That's what they had. So I think we're going to give it a shot, honestly. I'm feeling very reading slumpy again. And I think I do this every single month where I finish or come close to finishing, or like at this point I have essentially finished my June TBR except for Mistborn and The Queen Will Betray You. Mistborn I'm waiting on in the mail, and The Queen Will Betray You I'm going to buddy read both, or I guess all the books, at least the first book, with one of y'all. So the person that I am buddy reading with is waiting on her books to come in the mail. So waiting on that one, waiting on Mistborn. Everything else I have either finished or DNF'd. So I come to this problem every single month where I don't want to pick other books because I keep looking at all of my TBR books and saying, oh, that's going to fit into a prompt really nicely. I don't want to waste that book and then not have something to fit. Like, what if that prompt comes up and I need that book next month or a month later or whatever? So I need to stop doing that because then I end up like at this point where I still have a week and a half. I still have tons of time to read, but I don't want to waste the books on my TBR, which is probably why I keep my TBR as large as it is and why I still feel like it's not big enough and I want more. So we're going to try to stop doing that this month. We are going to try and read Monstrous and see how that goes. Soda! Look, I knew you could get up here by yourself. You've been making me get you up here like you couldn't get up here this whole time. You little brat. Okay, I need you to chill. Chill. That's the opposite of chill. Thank you. Sit. Anyway, so I think I'm going to read Monstrous and then see where I go from there. I'm going to film my July TBR game like tomorrow or Wednesday because I'm leaving Saturday for the rest of the month essentially, so I gotta film it before that. But I'm going away for an entire week and I'm probably gonna have a ton of time to read because we've got like a, I don't know, 18-hour car ride, plus a whole week up in Maine with my brother and sister, and we're doing like some hiking, and different activities, but for the most part, we're just kind of like camping, like we're in like a cabin, but we're essentially just like camping, so I probably will have a ton of time to read, which means I need to bring a lot of books, which means I need to get over my whole not wanting to waste things on my TBR thing. So I think I'm gonna read Monstrous, and then see how I like it. Maybe I'll read the second one too. I bet I could finish these both tonight if we're being honest. And then I could go back and read some things from my May TBR that I didn't finish. I almost started Starcross today, but the problem is I'm afraid to start a series that I'm really gonna like if I don't own all the books right now, right before I leave, and I don't think... I mean, I guess if I finished Starcross by like Wednesday, I could Amazon the next book before I leave and get it here in time, but that would require me to finish it in 2 days, and sometimes that happens, sometimes that doesn't. So I don't know. I gotta decide what I'm taking to Maine. I gotta decide if it's worth it to take physical books or if I should just bring my iPad and read all ebooks. I have like a little, like the original iPad mini. Used to be my dad's. He didn't use it anymore, so he gave it to me. It's like ancient. It actually doesn't even run my libraries app, but it does still work with the Kindle app. So I might, that's usually what I bring when I travel. So I might just bring that and maybe like a couple of books. But if I was being realistic about the number of books that I would need to take for a whole week where I will probably have a lot of time to read, I'm gonna need like 10 books, and that's a lot of space. And I'm rambling again, so I'm gonna now. So I'm gonna go read Monstrous and I will let you know how that goes. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday morning, barely, it's almost noon, but I wanted to talk about what I read last night, and then I have so much editing to do today. So last night I read the first 2 volumes of Monstrous. This is a fantasy series, graphic novel series for adults. Don't ask me what it's about. I really couldn't tell you. I did read them both. I am very lost. I know very little of what's happening, but I did kind of enjoy it. They're very dark, like very dark. And I don't know, I have this theory. I don't read a lot of graphic novels. I've only read I've read this, I've read Lock and Key, and then I read like the little Outlander one, and that's essentially it really. So I have this theory that the things that I find like very dark and very graphic in a graphic novel, I wouldn't find so dark and graphic if I was not like seeing pictures of it, you know? Like in a fantasy novel that I'm reading, it's like, oh, and then this man was decapitated, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then you like see someone get decapitated in a picture and you're like, oh my gosh, that's really dark. So things just feel darker when they're like drawn out in a picture, I guess. But I enjoyed it. I do want to continue the series. I am like interested enough to want to keep going, but I am very lost, especially book 2 definitely answered a lot of my questions and kind of fleshed out a lot of the world building, and things made a lot more sense in book 2, but in book 1, by the end of it, like, it's a pretty thick graphic novel, but by the end of it, I was literally like, I have no idea what I just read. I have no idea what is happening at all. And really all I can tell you about this series is it's about this girl, and she is like a monster, I guess. That's why it's called Monstrous. She's part of a race called Arcanics, I guess, which are like, you have like the humans and you have the ancients, which are like animals, but like personified animals, I guess. And then you have the Arcanics that are like the offspring of those 2 groups. So we have basically the offspring of human and animals, and I will not be elaborating on the thought process behind that. That is not a thought path I wish to go down. So, yeah, we have like lots of death, lots of like demons and gods and monsters, and I'm pretty sure like every single character in here is missing at least one limb. We also have like a race of cats that's kind of cool. They all have like multiple tails. It's interesting. It is interesting. It is definitely one of the weirder things I've read, but not necessarily in like a bad way. Like I'm still intrigued, so I'm gonna keep reading. I mean, I don't own the rest of the series yet, but I will eventually read the rest of it because I am interested enough to know what happens. So there's that. So that is essentially everything I read. I technically still have one more day of this vlog, like today, but I have so much editing to do today that I just don't think I'm gonna get a lot of reading done. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog now so that I can get all of my editing done because this is going up tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!